Hi everybody, this is Vintage Goods Index, and today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to review the 12 biggest antique and vintage trends for 2025 that Veranda Magazine published, issued on here's the date right here, February 4th. So we want to do this in this month. We don't want time to slip past by us. Seems like time is running very quickly here, and before we know it, it's going to be March. So let's get on with this. Um, okay, so the first item that Veranda points out, kitchen tools, kitchen utensils, and here we see a bevy of jars and flasks and urns and pots. And they're saying that the kitchen may not be the first place that comes to mind when shopping for antiques or vintage pieces. However, they are seeing a resurgence of antique kitchen tools making waves in the industry. And you know what? I have to I have to vouch and say that this is completely true because here in San Antonio, I visited about 6 months ago actually an Italian restaurant called Piazza, and on their walls in one of the main dining areas, they had the interior designer, and I need to find out who the interior designer is, but they did a wonderful job of displaying vintage kitchen utensils in the triptych format. Very beautiful. So and I took photos. So this is a really good one. I agree. The next one is apothecary jars. I haven't seen apothecary jars popping up here in the USA, although I have seen them a lot in Italy, in European flea markets. But if they're making their way and they're making a comeback here in the USA, that is completely fine with me because they're a great way to organize laundry rooms, utility rooms, kitchens, pantries. So apothecary jars are a nice, smart way to decorate spaces. Next up are table smalls. I wasn't quite sure what they meant by table smalls. Excuse the noise of my cat, but I do have a cat in heat right now, so my apologies. And what they are, they're pointing to the the oh the place, not placeholders, but um, spoon rests and knife rests that were seen back, I'd say, in the 70s ish. And here, these are some horses, and but we're seeing other forms of poodles, fruits, lion motifs, and Marburger Antique and Design Show in Atlanta, not the one in Texas, but apparently they have a huge lot and they are showcasing them in their showroom. The next one is folk art. Now, you have to be very careful with folk art because folk art tends to be buried, tends to be mixed up with just excess pieces of objects that don't get displayed correctly or properly. But when they are displayed properly, um, they turn out to be beautiful anchor pieces or um, conversational pieces. So here we see some dogs that are brightly colored and they're stacked inside of a shadow box, and that's really cute. Really, really cute. And so next we're coming up to, let's see, Freely Murano glass. Murano glass is always a hit. It is number 5 on their on Veranda's list. Murano glass is timeless. It's available in many different colorways and forms, and actually price points. So if you keep your eyes open in flea markets, in estate sales, vintage shops, certainly in venues outside of where you would normally look, you can find them even in lighting stores. So it's nice to see that Murano glass is being featured on this list. Next is painted furniture. Now, I'm going to read this verbatim, meaning design lovers have dismissed painted furniture as being overplayed or cheap looking. And I have to agree with this because there are many people who are doing, like here, like it says here, bad DIY jobs, and then they stick it in their spaces and it just makes the whole genre look bad, BAD. However, when it's done well, it turns out to be fantastic. And I found a really good example by one of the Italian shows that I follow. It's Positano Diaries, and um, the hostess is really good about painting, finding nice pieces similar to this one. And she uses chalk paint, and she does a really good job. She knows what she's doing. She says she doesn't, but she really knows what she's doing. And she takes a lot of care in painting the pieces that she finds. Next up are and it would be number 7. Number 7 is Art Nouveau and Art Deco. And we don't see too much Art Nouveau. We're more familiar with Art Deco in places like Miami, and then also Oklahoma has really good treasures, Art Deco treasures that we are highlighting on the Vintex. But Art Nouveau, I think of Monsieur Poirot or Inspector Poirot, Agatha Christie, Belgium, really, and France as well has wonderful, beautiful specimens of Art Nouveau glassware and furnishings. And here they're saying that Veranda, their sources have been seeing a strong demand for Art Nouveau and Art Deco decorative objects, lighting, and collectibles. I think the millennials are discovering these pieces. I think that's what's driving the demand. I would dig a little bit deeper to find out, who exactly is finding the Art Nouveau style attractive. And so here, the really quick description that Art Nouveau features asymmetrical details, sinuous lines, nature-inspired motifs, whereas Art Deco is more about symmetry, glamour, geometric shapes, and they're both making a comeback, and that's really nice to see. Okay, so that is number 7. At number 8, it's painted screens and panels, and they're both functional and beautiful, as it's stated here, that not only they're being collected not only for their beauty but also for their functionality, and that they are considered to be versatile pieces, and they provide practical solutions for dividing spaces and or enhancing privacy, which is so true. We saw one recently at auction here in San Antonio at Voigt Auction, and it was a scalloped wood eames screen, and I just regret not having taken a photo of it, but we did find a photo online, and it sold for a nice within the estimated price of $2,500. So really nice, really nice to see screens making a comeback. Next up at number 9, chinoiserie papier mâché. And honestly, I have to be honest, I haven't really seen papier mâché make a comeback, or I haven't seen it percolate or emerge here in my neck of the woods in Texas. However, I believe Veranda, when their editors say that they noticed that they're gaining in popularity with boxes, trays, coasters, plates, and at Marburger. And I'm assuming this is the Marburger in Atlanta, not the one here in Texas in Round Top. So, but it's nice that these are coming back, because I haven't seen them very often, and I'm out and about a lot. So let me know if you do see them, and it's nice that they come in many forms and shapes. The chinoiserie papier mâché. Okay, next up at number 10 is dark wood. Ta-da! Now, dark wood, and this looks like a 4-poster mahogany bed, okay, and quite contemporary. And Veranda, their sources are saying that they've noticed a resurgence in traditional dark woods, and And even their editor-in-chief, Steele Marco, believes that every room needs a piece of brown furniture. Well, I think that is just about a good piece of advice. So I don't think um, I don't think brown wood, dark brown wood, is necessarily a bad thing. It just needs to be placed correctly so that it's coherent within a space, especially if it's in a neutral space or in a light space. So, um, and then they go on to say, Veranda, their source, that they love dark woods and they hope that this trend will continue. And, by layering contemporary art with fine porcelains and other accessories, it breathes new life into the traditional look that usually dark wood has. Okay, so moving right along, we are at number 11, and number 11th is the opal and opaline. And yes, we're talking about the natural stone or mineral that is produced by oysters, and um, and it's not limited to jewelry or uh, yes, to jewelry. And so they're seeing a rise of opal for interiors and beyond. And let's see, for its unique beauty and versatility, natural, mesmerizing, shines in pieces like jewelry, adornments, and mirrors. I have seen it in mirror frames, and I also have seen it in urns. Um, in a cloisonne fashion. So, and they're alluding to its magic quality because it reflects light and it's iridescent. And so, um, within the same vein, milk glass um, seems to be part of the family of the opaline family, and I think that's pretty true. And I love milk glass. I actually have a good collection of milk glass pieces, and I wouldn't mind injecting some opaline in there. But yes, I'm glad that opaline is emerging and as a trend, and it works well in neutral and white interiors. How many of us are in a white phase? I'm still in a white phase. In my interior. So it's nice to see that that is at number 11. And at number 12, ta-da, Gustavian pieces. I would have to say that Gustavian pieces have never gone out of style. At least with the projects that I've worked on, that I've seen, I always see at least one piece that is Gustavian because it has contemporary it has a contemporary feel to it, and it works well in modern interiors. The finishes are soft; they tend to be soft. And here, a dealer, an antiques dealer that Veranda interviewed, he's stating, Mr. Pede here is stating that its Swedish furniture is a consistent top seller in his family's Palm Beach. Casa Gusto. Yes, we do list Casa Gusto. So that's nice to know that that our friends over in Palm Beach in Florida have an appreciation for Gustavian furniture. So very nice. This is a nice list of trends, and we look forward to tracking them. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and we will come back to you again with more. Thank you again for visiting the Vintage Goods Index, and thank you, and have a great rest of your day. Bye. And don't forget to look at the photos of the triptych wall art, the vintage painted furniture, and the Eames screen that we saw at the auction. Enjoy!